Yeah, I think it's going to be funny because anyone who watches the channel, they're going to see the notification for this and be like, he's baking cookies? Is this a joke? Nope, it's not a joke. We're actually baking cookies. We're rolling now, right?
It's the Cooking with Kevin Show! On today's episode, shortbread cookies. Warning, viewers might find parts of this video very disturbing. On the flip side, some viewers might find this video quite sensual and erotic. Please consult a physician before performing any of the procedures in the following video.
Maybe if we do it like this.
There you go.
Pretty stylish, right? Yeah. Anyway, so I think we're gonna have to lose the hat. It does not fit. So, no joke, we are actually going to bake cookies today. Heavy metal style. So, oven's warm. There we go. So, a very quick story to all this. So, when I was a kid, my Nana used to bake cookies, shortbread cookies for all the family every Christmas. And then as she got older and health and all that kind of stuff, of course, it stopped. And about 10 years ago, I started the tradition again for the entire family. So every year at Christmas time, I bake shortbreads for the entire family. So we thought it'd be kind of a fun thing for the channel here to show you how I do them, because they are so simple and they are so good. So we've got all our ingredients here. We've got just regular flour. We've got cornstarch. Got a brick of butter. Secret ingredient to making these so good compared to most of the shortbread you're ever going to see is the icing sugar.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. And thank you for being here, by the way. So we're going to add 2 full cups of flour to start, and then we're going to add 1 cup of the cornstarch. And now with the icing sugar, my own little secret here to making these things so good is that I just like to, add a little bit extra sugar in there. So what I do is when I'm measuring my sugar is I like to just pack it in there well. So what we're going to do is we're going to just, we're going to fill up our measuring cup, and then to help pack it in, we're just going to go tap, tap, tap. And then we're going to, top it off again. And we're just going to go again, tappity tap, tap, tap. And now once more, just going to top that thing off, and then tappity tap, 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 tap. And see, that's really going to pack it in there well. And it's just going to make it so sweet. Okay, so now that we have all of our dry ingredients into the bowl here, and just to recap, we have 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of cornstarch, and 1 really well-packed cup of sugar. So once they're all added, now what we want to do is we want to grab our whisker, and we're very gently going to start mixing all the ingredients together. Now, I say gently because if we go at this thing too hard, we're gonna make a really big mess all over the counter, and we just don't want to do that yet. So as we mix all the ingredients together here, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our good friend Randy, who has come to join us to help walk us through the next part of the procedure. So thank you, Randy, for joining us today.
Oh yeah! Thanks for having me, Biff.
My name is Tim.
Whatever. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take the butter out of the fridge about an hour before we start making our mix. And the reason we want to do that is so that the butter can get just a little bit soft, like that Tito Santana. Okay, so after we add our butter to the mix, you want to get your hands in there and really start to massage and work this thing. Oh yeah, just like that. Oh yeah. Oh, that was really disturbing. Okay, so as we get back to the mix here, so you want to really get your hands in there and massage that thing. Manhandle that like I did to Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania 5.
Randy, didn't you lose that fight?
You, Biff. Do you not realize who you're talking to? I am the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion of the world.
Not anymore.
That's it. You. I'm out of here. Let's go, Elizabeth. Come on.
Okay, well, I guess that ends our visit with Randy. So where were we? Oh, that's right. We were getting our hands really dirty and massaging our mix over and over again. And what we want to do is we want to be massaging our dough to the point where it really starts to stick to your fingers. And when it starts to stick to your fingers, that's when you know you've mixed it just enough.
Hey, we warned you.
Oh my, that was dirty. Okay, now that we have our mix all complete, what I like to do is I like to take the ball of dough that we've just made, and I like to make it almost like a little wall inside the bowl. Now, you'll understand why we do this in a moment, but sometimes it can help, depending on how hot your kitchen gets, is if you want to put the bowl into the fridge for a few minutes to help stiffen that thing up, it's going to make it just a little bit easier to work with. So the next step now is we're going to place a cooking sheet onto the counter. I like to give the counter a little bit of a wipe, just clean that thing up before we start here. And so we're going to flatten out our cooking sheet and flatten out our cooking sheet. And okay, we'll flip it over, and we're going to now flatten out our cooking sheet. Oh, for f***'s sakes. You know what? F*** it. Let's do another one. Okay, so with our cooking sheet, we're going to place this on the counter to roll out our dough. So what I like to do is I grab a little bit of flour and just spread that all over. And it helps to keep the dough from sticking to the cooking sheet as we roll it out. So once we put it onto the cooking sheet, I like to flatten it with my hand first a little bit. And then I take a little bit more flour and I spread it all over. And we grab our rolling pin and then gently start to roll this thing out. That's right. Smooth.
Now you may find too, as you're rolling it out, it will start to warm up a little bit and start to stick to the roller here. So it definitely helps if you occasionally clean it off and add a little bit more flour to it.
Oh, I'm gonna do more than just clean it. So the next question may be, how thick do I roll them out? Well, that's a really great question. I mean, we don't want them so thick that they don't cook inside, but we still want them thick enough that it feels like we're putting something substantial into our mouth. I like to roll them out about 1/4 inch. So now that we have our dough all rolled out, we're gonna grab another cooking sheet to place onto our cooking tray. And then all we need to do now is just start cutting out our cookies. People will sometimes ask me, does it really matter what size or shape my cookie cutter is? No, sweetie, it doesn't. It only matters how well you use it. The only thing you want to be careful about is to not place them too close together, because as they start to cook, they're going to expand a little bit, and you don't necessarily want them growing into each other.
Okay, so we've got our first batch in the oven and ready to go. So while we wait, let's go play some drums. Okay, so that was kind of ridiculous. All in good fun, of course. So we're going to take a look in the oven now. Like I mentioned earlier, depending on your oven, it may or may not take 12 to 14 minutes. So just keep an eye on them so you don't obviously burn them. But make sure they're also baked enough so they're not still doughy inside. So let's have a look.
Those are some scrumptious looking cookies. I hope you enjoy them.
Okay, so there you have it. There is a heavy metal drummer's guide to baking cookies. Not bad, eh? So we've sampled a few already. They turned out pretty awesome. And like I said in the beginning, I mean, super simple recipe that is really quick to make. So hopefully you enjoyed some of this and you can enjoy some of these with your own family during the holidays. Thanks. See you in the next one.
What the f is wrong with you?
What? That's my cookie song.
You need professional help.
Yeah. You think that's the fan? I'm just happy to see you.